make that RPM gauge, that tachometer, do what you really want it to do, you can drive this truck like it's automatic. Alright, what we have here is a little demonstration in downshift etiquette, people. I don't even know what gear I'm in, but we're going to go back. That's one. Let's go back again. Check how we can. So what you want to do in your particular truck, every truck is a little bit different. You want to see how many RPM that their hand gonna drop when you go to the next gear to determine the split of the gear. That was from 18 down to 14. I revved it a little high because I was trying to get momentum while we're going up the hill and not lug the engine. But okay, going from 1800 down to 1400, that lets us know our spread between our gears is about 400 RPM, give or take. So that's the number we're gonna work with. We're not gonna consider road speed. We're gonna get into that some other time. We're not gonna consider nothing about no road speed, but we're gonna determine where road speed goes with what gear later. But for right now, we're gonna concentrate on the 400 RPM so we can figure out, it ain't a secret, but the actual technique that needs to happen to upshift to the next higher gear or downshift to the previous lower gear. And it's all gonna revolve around the 400 RPM I'm talking about in this engine. Now with this transmission. So, in order to shift to the next highest gear, and I'm doing 1600 RPM, I would lightly press the fuel a little more just to take tension off the gears to get it out. Now, a lot of people would be lost right now because the engine is idling. But I remember that we were at 1600. So I'm going to go to the previous gear, bring the RPMs to 12, and push it in. It's still applied. You ain't lost. You just got to remember where you were. You got to just remember what goes with what. Now, to upshift, I'm going to lose 400 RPM. I'm going to take it out at 16 and put it back in at 12. And the same holds true. I'm going to take it out at 12, rev it in neutral, up to 16, and put it back in. Same thing. I'm going to go from 16 back down to 12 one more time. There you go, going right in there. Go right back up from 12 back to 16. There it is. I skipped over it a little bit. Go back from 17 to 13. It don't matter where you at, you either gonna go up or down 400. You just don't want to over-rev the engine, but it really don't matter where the RPM's sitting at as long as you can hit that number with your right foot. And that's the trick to everything. And being gentle with your inputs, not stomping the pedal to get the RPM up, actually feed the pedal in and bring the RPM up, and practice that sitting still in a stationary place with the truck idling, and in your mind or out loud call out a RPM and bring your foot up to make it get that RPM. If you say 17, mash it just enough to get it to 17 quickly as you can and stop at 17 and practice that. And you want it to drop 400, let it drop to 14 and catch it. Catch it. Bring it back up to 17, stop it right there. Don't over-rev it, don't under-rev it. Bring it right there and stop it. Because the trick to everything is fuel control. A lot of times I jake shift. Sometimes I jake shift, you never hear the jake because my foot don't completely come out the gas. I float in and out of the fuel. I don't stomp up in and out of it. I don't do heavy input. Like with this downshift on some player shit, I'm gonna come out and go in, and I'm gonna come out and go in. I'm gonna go right back down. But at the same time, like I said, any given moment, I punch and come right in. Hit it, come right back down. Punch it, go right back in. Hit it, go right back down. I can punch it, go right back in. Hit it, come right back down. Same 400 RPM, back and forth. We go back and forth and do that shit all day long. As long as I'm in the corresponding speed between them two gears, I can get in there. 400, 400. Well, if you're trying to go to the next gear, drop it 400. If you're trying to go back a gear because you need more power, raise it up 400. But it, like I said, this 400 number is all theoretical based up on, and see, I over revved it. I just got off of it, let it fall back through, and it still fell in that same hole at 400. You can't miss it. Ain't no way possible to miss it because it mathematically meant to work like that. It ain't about what you heard in the motor. It ain't about what they said in truck driving school about that 10 to 15 shit. It ain't about none of that. It's about where the motor want to be and where these gears are designed to line up at. And the difference between each gear ratio in this transmission at 400 RPM, unless you're using the blue button, or in the 13 you use the red button, it's just what it implies. It's a split. So it's not going to drop or go up 400. It's going to drop or go up 200. So they're going to be a very light, real light input on that pedal to flick that gear back and get it. You know? So, like I said, it really about the number. And if you can get to the point where you can really make your right foot, make that RPM gauge, that tachometer do what you really want it to do, you can drive this truck like it's automatic. You come out the hole and race with other trucks on the red light. And I hope you don't do it. But you can get out there and dust their ass out because guess what? By the time they get the third gear, I'm on the high side.